Hey there, I'm John Grimshaw, Smart Marketer's Chief Marketing Officer, and I am here today to tell you a little bit about my story and a lot about what it means to be a good CMO. What are the talents needed, the skills, the strategies, the responsibilities that you leverage in this incredibly important position? Because the truth is, without someone to tell the marketing story for the product, the services that you're selling, they're going to sit on the shelves. Marketing is essential, especially in our hyper-connected world. So you probably already know that if you're here. Let's dive in and talk a little bit about how I got to where I am today and what I think you need to develop if you want to be a CMO who can leverage your brand highly across today's connected world. So unlike Molly and Ezra and Colleen, I don't have as fun and interesting of an origin story, right? I didn't start out doing one thing and then figure out I was good somewhere else. I've kind of been trucking along the same path my whole life. I will say the most interesting thing I ever had was I was a country music DJ right out of high school, which was a very fun job. But I kind of realized, this was around 2008, that radio might be a bit of a dead medium. This was the year that the iPhone released. And so I said to myself when I started school, I probably need to look a little bit beyond the horizons I had been planning and get out of the radio game and into something else. So I studied communication, exploring marketing and marketing technology. Right out of school, I got a job working as a marketing consultant or associate. The titles for people that are in beginning marketing jobs are very confusing and don't really correlate to job responsibilities. To be honest, I just did a lot of little things that all sort of added up to not so much. I just felt like I was not able to get traction. I would create blog posts, I was managing interns, I was running ads, I was getting leads to come in, but we just weren't having success. It was really frustrating because I was working a lot. I was building websites. I was getting my head wrapped around all different parts of the industry, but I just felt like something was missing. And as you might expect from the way I've been telling the story, something was. The lightning bolt of inspiration hit me the day I decided to quit that job and go apply for a job at Digital Marketer. I heard about this opportunity from my then girlfriend, now wife, who loves to find jobs for people. If you're having a hard time finding one, always reach out to her. And she said, hey, this sounds like a really good opportunity for you. So as always, when I'm considering a job, I'm gonna go on the website, take a look, see what I think I would change about what they're doing, what's working really well. Well, I went to their site and I read an article, and it was an article that completely changed the way I thought about marketing, right? It is the swirling tornado in The Wizard of Oz, and you land and everything is in color instead of black and white, where they talked about the concept of the splinter offer. So taking a product that you're trying to sell, whatever it might be, and splintering it out. Not like a piece of wood, but of its core part, what is one little piece you can take out and sell to someone at a lower price to capture their interest and attention, and then have an opportunity to sell them whatever it is you actually want to sell. So the example they used in this that was so good is candles, right? They wanted to sell candle making equipment, actually, not the candles themselves, but we're having a hard time getting traction. So what was the strategy? Well, they splintered it out and decided to sell bundles of wicks. And then on the back end of that, after someone had agreed to buy a bundle of 50 to 100 wicks, hey, here's a great opportunity to get some discounted wax and discounted scented oils and a chance to get some jars to put your candles in, maybe some label makers. It exploded the business. And I realized what the piece was that I had been missing in marketing for so long. The concept of the offer, the reason for someone to buy. A product alone is not an offer, right? A product is what you, the business owner or business team, want to sell. But by creating an offer, giving it some structure, a reason for people to take action, benefit, a transformation on the end, you turn that product from something sitting on the shelf, flat and lifeless, to a place someone wants to be. The future state that they're aspiring to that convinces them, hey, maybe if I buy this, I will get X, Y, Z, the thing that I really want. And it completely changed the way I thought about marketing. So I was very excited when I went into the job interview and ended up getting the job at Digital Marketer, where I worked as an email specialist for a couple of years. And over my time there, I went from email specialist to email manager to some other title to chief data officer or something like that. I had a lot of interesting sort of titles that changed, but I did a lot of different things. So when I started there, I was hired as an email specialist, which was the person who sends the emails. And in my time there, I worked there for about 4 or 5 years. I went from email specialist up to running the marketing team, right? I was the marketing manager. And then I was the senior data officer or senior data manager, the person who was figuring out the metrics of all of the business marketing. So I had pretty darn rapid growth. And I will tip my hat a little bit to Molly, right? Her mentorship and her amazing leadership helped me really reach my full potential. But I did one thing differently in all of the roles I had, which made me not only incredibly talented at any one thing I was trying to do, but able to leap from subsections to working on larger overarching projects, and a strategy that I think all CMOs should have, which is I like to look at the numbers. Well, okay, everybody looks at the numbers, right? I mean, you've got a number. You're looking at how much money you're making every day. You're looking at how many leads you brought in. Everybody's got a number that they're looking at that tells them day to day, how are we doing? Are things looking good? Are things looking bad? Are we thumbs up or are we thumbs down? Well, I like to go one step further. I am always interested in that big key number, right? The key performance indicator. But key performance indicators tell an incomplete story. And I think this was the secret to really everything that I've had success with in marketing, which is realizing that whether or not you're succeeding or failing can be measured with a KPI, a key performance indicator. But to figure out how to unbundle that from something that is working or succeeding, or maybe failing, not doing so well, into how do we optimize a process that's not going very well? Or what is working that we should leverage elsewhere? How do we take this winning strategy and duplicate it again and again? It's learning how to break something down into its constituent parts. And I will very briefly jump backwards in time and say that I was raised by 2 doctors. And for a while, thought I was going to go to medical school until I read the book House of God by Samuel Shim, which is an amazing book that I recommend to everyone and made me think, maybe being a doctor is not the right path for me. But an interesting thing about medicine and why this is relevant, when you are treating a patient, right? Well, you're treating a human, first of all, but you're not looking at one thing. Somebody says, I've got back pain. I got a bad cough. Oh, I'm coming in, I got a killer headache. You can't diagnose someone's illness based on a single fact, right? There's a key problem indicator. There's the sign that brought somebody into the doctor's office or the hospital when they're saying, boy, I feel crappy. But the way you figure out what's wrong and treat that person's challenge, their illness, their pain, their injury, is by asking questions that help you drill deeper down and looking at additional numbers that indicate this is a problem. This is a problem. This is actually working really well. This is really healthy. So you're both winnowing down and eliminating many, many possibilities and proving that this is a core part of the issue. This is a core part of the issue. It is a ever-stretching process of trial and error to determine what is healthy and what's not so healthy. And that mindset, that practice is what I brought into every single role I ever did in marketing. I want to know the KPI. Sure, I want to know what's happening big picture, but I want to be able to reverse engineer that and figure out which core parts are working and which ones maybe aren't working so well. So when I'm evaluating, did a promotion succeed or fail? Sure, I want to know how much money we made, but I also want to know, how did this page perform? Which of our ads did really well? And not just which ad did well, but this ad drove a lot of clicks, but not a lot of sales. That's interesting. What about this strategy should we pull forward into other things, right? Because part of it worked, but not the whole thing. It's not a complete picture. And to me, that is one of the big secrets. I had a chance to work on a lot of different areas, right? I started in email. I ran Google ads for a while. I managed a team of about 7 people creating marketing funnels for an 8-figure business for over a year and a half, and saw us produce in that time something like 40 or 50 different offers that we were able to take up and sell with ads, with emails, with all different kinds of things. And at the end of the day, being able to step backwards and figure out which part of this is failing and which part of it is succeeding is so critical to actually having meaningful impact. So that was kind of my secret weapon. The secret sauce in my story that got me to where I am today was learning how to focus not so much on did we succeed or did we fail, but diving in and exploring the journey along that path. Now, after working at Digital Marketer for 4 or 5 years, wonderful time. I learned so much there. Molly, as you all know from hearing her story, branched out and went and consulted on her own. And she said, hey, I have a bunch of clients who are really struggling to understand the picture behind their business, right? They know that they're having some success with their ads, that some of the stuff is working. They don't know how to figure out what's next. So I spent a few years working as a freelance consultant, helping businesses get their heads wrapped around the data in their business. I would make people dashboards and spreadsheets and come up with numbers, but that was really to get my foot in the door. The secret, the reason that people kept paying me a monthly retainer over and over again was not because I built them a pretty dashboard. It was because I could sit down and interpret that data for them and tell them not just what's happening in your business, but what's the logical next step from that. And of course, working with Molly on her other clients, she started working with Ezra. So I joined Smart Marketer just as a consultant for the first bit, helping them launch the second round of Train My Traffic Person and Team Traffic, the mentorship product all around traffic and how to figure out how your ads are doing. Well, that relationship obviously went pretty well. In March of 2020, or I suppose it was February of 2020, right before coronavirus, Ezra asked Molly and I to join the business and gave us each part ownership of this. And since then, we've actually grown the business year over year significantly by expanding the channels and learning to do this reverse engineering process. Now, I don't say all this to just talk about how great I am. Probably shouldn't say that at all. I am still learning and growing and developing as a person, but there are a few things that I do know that are critical if you are someone who wants to be a chief marketing officer or identifies yourself as someone that is looking to grow and build marketing strategy. And CMO, it's a fun title, sure, but a marketing director, a marketing manager, the key is it's all the same thing. It doesn't matter what your title is, right? If you are someone overseeing marketing, there's a few core things you have to understand. You absolutely must understand what is your business's offer. This is the secret sauce. Again, this is the lightning bolt, the thunderstorm, the swirling hurricane of knowledge that changes your marketing from a challenging, dragging things across the finish line to, wow, I know exactly how I create value, a positive experience, and a transformation in the people that I'm trying to reach. And I tell them that story. And when you tell people the story of who they want to be and how your product gets them there, marketing becomes easy. The other thing is it's pretty repeatable. The core principles behind marketing are not fundamentally different, right? Running ads on Facebook, running ads on TikTok, sending an email, working with an influencer, those all sound dramatically different and they each have little quirks and tricks to them. But at the end of the day, marketing is about perfecting a repeatable process. Right? We are creating a hub where we are driving interested and engaged people that we believe are a good fit for our product. We are demonstrating that transformation, showing them the end state and how the product gets them there. And we're facilitating getting to that page through multiple channels of contact. If you can do that, you can market any product in any way on any traffic platform that exists because marketing is fundamentally the same. So the secret to getting good at marketing, at being a good CMO, or being a good marketing manager or marketing director is not to hyper-complicate everything and figure out all these 80,000 different ways. No, it's understanding the core message. How do you best facilitate this experience for customers? That's not to say there aren't multiple channels that are interesting and useful and important to look at, right? I have a kind of paradigm that I use to explore marketing. There's 3 big circles that make up everything that is marketing today. There's what I like to call fast traffic, right? That's going to be something you can immediately get those people to that page where we tell them the transformative experience. That is something like paid media, where you can pull the lever as hard or softly as you want to get people's attention immediately. We also have something called slow traffic, which is all about building branding and relationships and engaging with content. It would include SEO. It would include creating a blog or a podcast. It is about creating a hub of interest for your business and using that as a slow, indirect way to engage and reach new people. And the third circle is offers, right? We need to take the products that our businesses want to sell and turn these from products, services that sit lifelessly on a shelf into things that we can easily and dynamically show that create engagement, get people excited about the transformation, the future state, the emotional benefit they want, the status they're looking for. At each of these intersections, right, there's 3 circles, we have the 3 key roles of any marketing job. It is the intersection of fast and slow traffic, right? This is our owned media. This is often where email marketing, text marketing, web push notifications sit. And it is the most powerful tool that anyone has to leverage for their marketing, because it is people who have raised their hand and said, please tell me more about your business, your products, and your services. We also have the intersection of offer and slow traffic, which is what we call our kind of social media section. This is where the branding lives for the business. This is where we figure out not just what do we sell, but how do we want to be presented across all these channels? How do we want to build the spokes of our business, right? If the hub is our website and our email list, well, the spokes might be our Facebook page or our Instagram page or our TikTok. All of these different outposts where we set up shop to let people know, hey, if you're interested in accomplishing this, if you're interested in buying this, if you want to change your life in this way, this is the path. Follow this business, explore this product, and try this out. And our last key intersection point is that place where fast traffic and offer intersect. And this is often the place where paid advertisement really lives, because it is the easiest way for us to buy customers in a business. A very, very powerful model of thinking about it, where we build offers that we can run paid traffic to and make money as we attract new people into our business. So those three key quadrants are the most critical things to figure out as a CMO. And we, CMO, marketing director, live right in the middle, right? We're the intersection of the three circles. So using this framework, I found myself able to easily and quickly be able to figure out what is going on in any business's marketing setup. And at the end of the day, we're just repeating the same process again and again across multiple channels. Now, your challenge, your directive as the CMO is to make sure that each of those circles gets an equal amount of love. One of the biggest mistakes that I see in this industry is that people love to pour on the effort and energy in that fast traffic circle because it gets immediate results, right? It's drinking a glass of water. Oh man, suddenly I feel great. But we need to work in other parts. We need to work on the diet part. To stick with that metaphor maybe a little too long, the slow traffic, right? You got to eat some salad if you want to feel good in your body. We also need to work on offers. We need to think about how do we frame this product in different ways to sell new transformations to new people. Once you figure out that you need to split time equally amongst these three circles, you will find that marketing for any business is a snap, because it is all about these simple, repeatable processes. And so that's what I'm excited to dive into during this. It is how do we work with the people on our team? How do we understand and relate to the customers that we sell to? And how do we work with other people in our industry, with other people who may not be in the marketing sphere, but touch adjacent things like technology and product to create a really wonderful experience, to understand how our products don't just become a part of someone's life through a purchase, but through a transformation, a change, and structure every single message that we put out there around the end state, that desired benefit that really is the reason anybody buys anything. So I can't wait to dive in and talk through all of this with you. I truly believe that having somebody who can run your marketing is the secret to growing your business. Once you have a great product, you're only halfway there. You have to figure out how to take that product and frame it in such a way that you excite, engage, and entertain everyone who might buy it, all the while showing them who they will be after purchasing. So you do this by working with your team, by working with your systems, and by building an incredible business culture. So from an output perspective, marketing is all about this transformation. But the real secret of it, right, the way that we get this done in business is marketing is one of the most cross-team departments any business can have. Because we are working with web pages, we are working with products, we are working with the customer service team to ensure that we're fulfilling on the promises that we're making. So as we go through this course, I'm going to show you how to be a great CMO, not only in mastering this offer and this transformation, which I do believe are critical, but how do you work with other teams? How do you actually put these pages together, these offers, and ship this stuff? It is absolutely critical as a CMO to be able to produce amazing web pages, produce amazing content, to make sure that you're accurately reflecting the customer experience of the product in this transformation. I'm really excited to show you how being a CMO is more than just getting really good at selling somebody a product, right? It is about mastering this process of repeatably planning and executing promotions, creating wonderful offers that provide an amazing experience, and set your business up to scale massively. I truly believe that marketing is the lever that will take your business from where it is today to where you have written down and said you want it to go.